welcome back, guys, to the second segment of the TnN show. We are reviewing the last 16 of the Euros. Now we're going to a big upset. I think it's the biggest upset of the round, of course. France losing on penalties to Switzerland. I don't know what should think about this. Yeah, because I predicted that Switzerland had no chance.
Yeah.
It was a bad prediction from my part, but why do a team as good as France even get to extra time or penalties with Switzerland?
I have to be very open, about this. Every team that made it to the Euros this year were not there to participate. I think the one thing that I can definitely give this tournament this year is the hunger that every single person who traveled, to those 11 different destinations, the fight, Switzerland, we need to give them huge credit, very huge credit. In as much as France were not at their best, if I can be honest, but for me, Switzerland showed, a lot of character, to go 1-0 up, then 2-1 down, then to go 2 goals behind, then to recover from that. That was quite fantastic from them, for me.
But still, I just don't understand. I still don't understand why it happens, because you look at how Switzerland was so poor in the group stages. I think they only beat Turkey because Turkey were poorer than them. They look so poor. I just thought they had no future against this France team. What happens? How? I'm still gobsmacked, for the lack of a better word.
I think the big players for France did not turn up. Benzema did quite well for me. 2 goals. For that game, for me, he tried, even the unconventional finish that he put, touch from behind, perfect lob over the keeper with his left foot. But for me, the amount of chances that Mbappe got, if he buries those chances, France have a way better chance, of going through to the next round. But the moment that you miss those chances, the moment that you clip the ball, Coleman is clipping the ball a couple times, Mbappe is wilding at the ball, he's lashing it high and wide, and these are the last 10 minutes of the match. All that gave Switzerland was just momentum
and hope,
and a lot of hope. Come extra time, I think for me, they worked extremely hard just to make sure that they can go for penalties. And if you notice Shaka's body language, come penalties, he had that belief of, this could be ours, because let's face it, Switzerland missed a penalty. They miss, Seferovic misses a couple, I think about 2 good chances, as well. Face value, let's look at the game from the time that it started to the time that it finished. Honestly speaking, on all those transitions, the team that definitely deserved to win was Switzerland.
Yeah, I think it's actually lucky France get to penalties.
France, for them, Switzerland were a bit rattled, when they conceded. Now it's 1-1, then 2-1, they're a bit rattled, went into their shells. But credit to the captain for showing character and making sure that his boys could continue with the fight for the game.
Yeah, so one thing I also want us to address is the group stages, because a lot of times it's the group stages doesn't matter as long as you qualify. Because you look at the way France performed in that group. Yes, they topped that group, but they weren't particularly very good.
No, they're not.
And maybe we gave them a lot of excuses because we said their group was difficult and so on and so on. But apart maybe from the Germany game where they win, but even when they win, Germany had a couple moments where you thought they could get back into that game. They weren't really convincing the whole tournament. And you look at a guy like Mbappe. I know he's too young. I don't want to bash him because he's too young, but the expectations, because of the talent that he's got, he didn't give quite enough when it came to this tournament.
Quite enough is, I think, 1 is the wrong word. 2, it was nowhere close. Nowhere close. His performances weekly, when we look at the League One and everything, that's if he still wants to play in the League One. He was brilliant, for PSG, in as much as they did lose out on the league and everything. For me, it was just poor. It was just poor from the young man. Come the next tournament, come all other areas of his footballing career, I think he just needs to improve from the performances that he put in there. If you're gonna be rated as one of the top young players in the world, the performances he showed at these Euros were not it. Were definitely not it. He was far off his pace. The one time that we probably saw like some brilliance was that curl against Jimmy, that was Caro for offside, and she's offside,
Yeah,
that
rightly so.
those are other things that you have to look at in someone's game. But without shame, France definitely deserve to go back to Paris.
Okay, no, but we've given you a chance to bash all the players who made mistakes, who made everything wrong. But is it also time to look at the manager? Is it maybe Deschamps' fault as well? Does he need to, quit while he's still ahead and give this France national team to someone else? Or just because, as I've said before with Fernando Santos, prior success, does that shield you to give you maybe one or two more chances with this team? Because they've got quality.
I think Deschamps probably, it could be the same, probably one more chance. But for me, where he definitely got it wrong was really, there's no real transition that's happening in the France squad. They've had that squad for a couple of years now. Benzema, of course, coming in, and he hasn't shown that he doesn't fit in the squad, but everyone else around him, maybe his managerial tactics to go with 3 at the back, for me, he got it a bit.
Yes, why did he change it when he's always been playing with a 4?
And and Lenglet hasn't played any real games. He's a bit. He was a bit off. He didn't look too sharp. That head against Seferovic, that was very weak for me. Very
but
weak.
Countries just call it classical Lenglet, isn't it? What he does at Barcelona as well.
Yeah, that's a thing. So come this tournament, you really need to think about that. For me, the usual back 4, and everything, and Rabiot playing them in Fuji. Because you see, second half when he did change it, and Rabiot was now playing. Okay, he was on the wing for a bit, but he was now getting to the midfield a bit more and everything. Things got a bit better for them. So I have to say that change of tactic was.
You got it wrong.
He definitely did get it wrong. He might have tried to match the Sicilian formation, but truth is, France, when they have that 4-2-3-1, I think they play fantastic football.
And that's international football for you. International, the money game is just one game. Then you're out.
It's definitely a money game, yeah.
Thank you for watching TK Sports. For more awesome content from this channel, please subscribe. And also engage with us on our social media platforms down in the description below.